Hello and welcome. My name is Todd Boston, and in this video I want to share with you a transformative music practice of taking the guitar from standard tune down to a tuning we like to call DADGAD, which is D-A-D-G-A-D. And the goal of this video and this practice is not to show you a typical guitar lesson where I'm teaching you a lot of methods or techniques on the guitar. This is more about a transformative music practice that takes 5, 10, 15 minutes to sit down and experience the presence of sound and music and how it can transform our physiology, our nervous system, and create a sense of calm and peace within us. What we're talking about here is the ancient relationship between humans and sound vibration. This practice unlocks our connection to vibration, sound, and music. Using our voice, using our presence, as we resonate, as we tune in, we create sympathetic resonance between the instrument and our physiology, our voice, our body as an instrument. Okay, so we start in standard tune. Standard tuning on the guitar is E, A, D, G, B, E. You probably know that if you're here. So what we are doing is we're going to tune this to an open chord that we call DADGAD. It's a D suspended fourth chord, and I'm just going to do that quickly. Please, if you have a tuner, I highly encourage using a tuner. Pause the video if you need to. So what I have is D, A, D, G, A, D. Beautiful chord. Now I'm in this open D suspended fourth chord. What I've done is I took this standard tune guitar, which when I play it open is a collection of notes, but it's not really a scale. It's not really a chord. It's not a set chord tuning. Open tunings, alternative tunings, give us this ability to retune the instrument into an open chord. So when we just strum it, beautiful. It's just this beautiful open chord. So my experience with these chordal tunings is that it allows me to tap into an intuitive part of my experience that is not about the technique or about the critical mind that I tend to bring into my own music sometimes. It's more about experiencing the sound, letting go, and allowing my subconscious intuitive mind to partake in the process. Okay. So now we're in DADGAD. Again, we can play. I love this tuning. It's so musical and so epically beautiful. So much music has been written, so many great guitar players playing this tuning. All of that's for another day. If you just want to play this tuning for the music, it's perfect. But why we are here today is about this practice that I want to share with you. So before we do that, I just want to pause and say thank you for tuning into this video. If you feel this is useful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you'd like to follow the link in the description, go to my free guide, which is there, which is this basically this practice in PDF form that you can download and get more information about musical mindfulness, about the guitar, and about how music is just this incredible transformative gift. For this practice, we can either play open. By adding the G note, we create a chord, which is a suspended fourth chord. It's fine. But the foundational practice is built upon the note D in relationship to the note A. So if I play the second fret on the G string, I play an A note, and now if I strum the whole chord, it's now D and A. And so again, if I let it go, and then I play that G, and then I the 2nd fret. Now I have an A. So for this practice again, the primary chord that we want to play to for our voice to sing to is D and A. So now that we have that, let's start the practice together. Get into a comfortable seated position, either on the floor or in a chair preferably. If you stand for whatever reason with a strap, it's okay, no problem. So let's take a deep breath in through our nose, through our nostril. Inhale. Exhaling through our mouth. So inhale through your nostrils in. When you exhale, you can start to use the sound ha. So just lightly under your breath. So I inhale. On this next inhale, I'm going to recognize the feeling of my guitar. I'm lightly putting my hands, I'm feeling the instrument, I'm connected to my body. I inhale. With each inhale and exhale, I become more present in my breath and in this moment. So this is a breathing exercise. What we're doing is a practice of mindfulness. Okay, so let's bring the guitar into our practice. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use that chord that I can either play by playing just my D's and A's and leave out the G string, or I can fret the G string on the 2nd fret, which creates an A note. You can always let go for a moment and come back to it. Okay, so now we're going to bring these two things together, and if your voice takes a moment to tune to the chord, it's no problem. Just stick with the process. If you need to pause the video, it's okay. Just continue to move through this practice. It's about transformation. It's not about perfection. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in, and we're going to exhale the sound ah. Inhale. Inhale. Again, sitting in the quietness of the space after I do this breath. If this is it, if this is what you take from this video, tune your guitar to DADGAD, sit in a quiet, comfortable place, breathe in a few times, strum the chord, and do 3 deep breaths in, exhaling with the sound ah, moment of quiet, inhale, exhale the sound ah, inhale, exhale the sound ah, and sit in the quietness for a moment and just listen to the space between the notes, the space between the sound, the vibration. Try to find this moment of quietness and recognize how profound the silence is after we live in the music and the vibration for a moment. That practice, tuning the guitar, especially if the guitar is already sitting in DADGAD, you just fine tune it and get into it. Honestly, that's like a 2-minute practice. And I feel transformed right now. My physiology is different. My stress hormones have changed. So my question to you is, how do you feel? How has this practice impacted you? Go into the comment section and tell me what this practice did for you. Maybe you sang this and you started crying. Maybe you started laughing. You felt an emotion, something unlocked within inside of you. This is healing tool practice. This is sound healing. This is a practice that music gives to us. If we take the time to be present, to listen, to tune in, to tune our instrument, to tune our body, our mind, and our spirit into this gift of music, this is the real value of music. Yes, music is entertaining. Yes, music is enjoyable. Music is fun. Music is all of these things. Music is how many streams on Spotify, how many Grammys does the person win, awards. That is all part of the fun of music, and it's all interesting and good. But what we're talking about here is the ancient relationship between humans and sound vibration. This practice unlocks our connection to vibration, sound, and music. Using our voice, using our presence, as we resonate, as we tune in, we create sympathetic resonance between the instrument and our physiology, our voice, our body as an instrument. This practice transforms us and heals us. This practice can change your life. If you have 2 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes, sit down and tune in and see what happens. Keep track of it. Devote to this practice. Find your capacity, where you hit the wall, where you can't do it. Can you sit down for a half an hour? Can you sit down and just breathe and and tone for an hour? What happens to you when you do that? How have you changed? How have you transformed? There's always the playing. If I'm playing this instrument and I'm tuning in, and I just start playing up. Beautiful thing about this open tuning is that nothing is wrong about any note that I play. I'm just on the G string right now. If I add a bass note, I'm on the sixth string on the 5th fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret. Now I'm playing music on this tuning. That's for another video. The practice is the thing, but if you get to the end of your practice and you have time and space and you want to explore this tuning, just play. These tunings unlock our intuitive nature. These tunings give to us an instrument that is tuned to a chord. So if I hand this to a child and they do that and they start to play it as a drum, play some harmonics, it's such a playground of beauty. So if you take one thing, again, from this video, sit down, tune your instrument, find a quiet space, take a deep breath, listen to your breath, exhale, take a deep breath, exhale, take a deep breath, exhale, play the strum, take a deep breath, exhale the sound ah, tune in, let your body and your mind sympathetically resonate with the guitar until the frequencies align and you become in tune with the instrument. This tuning in is affecting our brain waves in profound and deep ways. There is a science to this. There is a natural humanness to this. That is our connection as a human in this universe and vibration. Our connection as humans in vibration is expressed in the art of music and sound. This vibrational harmonic relationship of our music as modern humans is connected to something much deeper and more mysterious and magical and spiritual than we probably understand in most of our lives. So when we take a moment and we stop and we meditate and become present with the guitar and we play this beautiful tone and we tune our voices in, something that we're experiencing is something that is deeply human, deeply vibrational, and is a gift to ourselves And because we're taking care of ourselves, it becomes a gift for those that we love, our relationships, because we become more grounded, we become more centered in who we are, we become better listeners. And then, because of that, we become better citizens of our community and our world. Thank you for tuning in today. Please like this video. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and go to the link in the description and you can find there a link for the PDF download that will give you this practice in a written format so you can have it as a guide, as a practice. I like to end my practice with just a feeling of gratitude, grateful for this moment, for this breath, for this instrument, this beautiful guitar, and for the miracle and transformative power of music and sound in our lives. So thank you for your participation, and I'll see you soon.